Hello students, in 10th syllabus, the chapter 1 is real numbers. Am I okay? So we'll talk about the real numbers first and then we'll see that what are contents or what we have to study in this section, real numbers. Okay? Now real numbers is well known, in the 9th class also we studied, and that we know that it is a group of numbers, not a particular number it is. So real numbers, as we know, let us have a look on that real numbers. Let us have a review on this real numbers, because this is used time to time in our further study here. So real numbers, if you define that it is a combination of two numbers, you all of you are knowing. So that is rational number and irrational number. Am I correct here? Rational number and irrational numbers. Okay? Rational numbers we represent with Q, and irrational numbers we know that is a non-terminating, non-repeating decimal. Okay? It is a non-terminating. Let us write here a non-terminating and non-repeating decimals. Okay? Rational number we know it is in the form P upon Q, where Q is not equal to 0. Okay. Now rational numbers also we can break in two parts here. We can say that integers and whole numbers. Whole numbers. Integers we denote it by I or Z here, and this is zero, including zero, positive numbers right to zero, and negative numbers left to zero up to minus infinite. Okay, whole number, that is we know we denote it by W, and this is including zero, all positive numbers are there, 1, 2, 3 and so on. Now this whole number also we can write as a combination of natural number and natural numbers and zero. Natural numbers we denote it by n, and we know that it is starting from 1, 2, 3 and so on up to infinity. And zero, this is well known number. So if you combine all this, it becomes the set of real numbers. Okay, this is denoted by capital R. So this structure should be there in the mind, because here we should have knowledge of all these type of numbers, because we are going to use that in the next topic here. What we are going to see that Euclid division lemma. Okay, so here this structure should be there in the mind. Now let us come back to this Euclid division lemma, because this is the important topic and often the question comes from this part here in the board exam. Okay, since we are preparing for board, so everything should be there in the mind, that where we can be more calculative, because every half mark, 1 mark also has its own importance. Okay, so let us come to this Euclid division lemma. because it is the first topic of this chapter, and from here we have to start our the study. Okay, so Euclid's division lemma. Now Euclid, one famous name, it is name of the mathematician. Division, we know that when we divide a number by another number, we get quotient, remainder, and so on. Lemma. What is lemma means here? Lemma is one proven statement. Lemma is one proven statement which is used to prove the another statement. Okay, this lemma is one very specific statement it is, and it is already proved before, and it is used to prove the another statement. Okay, so this all things should be clear to you. Euclid division lemma. Okay, and this is nothing but same as what we have learned in the previous classes, that dividend, all of you are knowing, dividend equals to divisor into quotient plus remainder. I hope all of you are remembering. In our classes we have proved, we have verified, we have justified this dividend equals to divisor into quotient plus remainder. And how do we get all this? Where it comes on? When we do the process of division. Right? So for example, say here, let us take a number. Suppose 15 is a number here. And we are dividing by 2. 2 sevens are 14. Right? We subtract here, so we get 1. We know that this is called the dividend. This is divisor here. This is quotient. And this is the remainder. Okay, this all of you are knowing. Now here this relation shows that the dividend is the sum of the product of divisor and quotient and remainder. Okay, this is always true. No doubt, it is always true. When we do the process of division, this relation we find it is always true. Okay, so this Euclid division lemma, how do we correlate both? So here I am writing A equals to BQ plus R. Just pay attention here. A equals to, one by one we will come to that. What is the meaning of A, B, Q, R here? So A equals to BQ plus R. Okay. Here A, B, Q and R, they are the integers. Okay, now we know that what are the integers? Integers, just we have discussed before, that 0, including 0, positive numbers, complete numbers there, positive numbers and negative numbers. Okay, so A equals to BQ plus R, here A, B, Q, R, they all are the integers. Clear to you? Okay. Now, if it is A equals to BQ plus R, then here some condition is there for R. Here just compare one. This R remainder should be always smaller than the divisor. Why? Because if this remainder is more than the divisor, its value is more than the divisor, then we can divide it for more number of times. So therefore, this remainder should be smaller than the divisor. Okay. So conditionally, here this R we are writing plus R here, and this R is nothing but the remainder only. This A is the dividend, B is the divisor, Q is standing for quotient, and R is for the remainder. So this is also dividend equals to divisor into quotient plus remainder. So this relation is same, but it is newly packed, or we can say that it is the new format of this dividend equals to divisor into quotient plus remainder. Right? Is it clear to you? Now, this condition for R, we are talking about that one, that this R should be smaller than the divisor, and divisor is what here? Here divisor is what here? B. So we write here B. And one more thing we are doing, that remainder can be 0 also, right? Or this it can be greater than the 0, as we have got 1 here. So we write here 0 less than equal 0 less than equal to R less than B. So this condition A equals to BQ plus R, where R is less than B but greater than or equal to 0. This is the statement of Euclid division lemma, right? Is it clear to you? A equals to BQ plus R, where R satisfying the condition that less than B but greater than equal to 0. So this statement also should be there in the mind, children, because for sometimes for 1 mark, this it is asked you state the Euclid division lemma. So in board exam especially, since you are all of the board class student, so this should be there in the mind, the statement of the Euclid division lemma. Okay, here again I am telling that A, B, Q, R, they are all integers, and condition for R is satisfying here with this relation. Clear to you? Now we'll come to this application of this Euclid division lemma. But before going to that, one more term comes here in our study, that Euclid's division algorithm. Euclid's division algorithm. Let us write here. What is the meaning of that? We'll see here. Euclid's division algorithm. Okay. So Euclid's same division, we are knowing that process of division. Algorithm. This is the, what is the meaning of this algorithm? Because it comes that solve the question by Euclid division algorithm. So algorithm is the step by step procedure. It is step by step procedure, right? Step by step procedure, how can we understand? Suppose you want to prepare a cup of tea. So when you want to prepare a cup of tea, then we want that to take some pot also in which we can prepare, then water also we have to pour into that, then we have to stir it, then sugar, then tea leaf, then everything, then we finally we get that prepared tea. Okay. So step by step procedure, in which way we start preparing the tea, that is the step by step procedure only, and that is the algorithm for preparing the tea. So here also Euclid division algorithm gives the sense or meaning of that how do we find the required value by using this concept Euclid division algorithm. Okay, that is step by step. So we'll come to that one. Now, to understand this, by Euclid division algorithm, mainly it is used for finding the SCF, and we'll come to that SCF now. Okay, let us take two numbers. SCF, this is not new term, it is for you. SCF, this is F stands for factor here. Okay, factor or factors we can say. Okay, factor or factors. Here C stands for common and H stands for highest. Okay, so highest common factor. So first we find in the process that factor. We'll find the factor, then we find the common factor, and then finally we find the highest common factor. Right? So factor, common factor, and highest common factor. Okay, this is one way that what we have done in the lower classes. But here by Euclid division lemma, this is more easier, and in the new form we can get it. So we'll discuss about that by taking the one example here. Let us come to that one. Okay. Now I am taking the two numbers here. Select 26 and 91. 26 and 91. The two numbers I am taking here. This is one of the questions of this NCERT. 26 and 91. And select, we can find the SCF by the Euclid division lemma. 26 and 91. Okay. So what we do in this Euclid division lemma, by using this Euclid division lemma, or you say that algorithm, because step by step we have to show that. First, we have to decide here which is smaller and which is bigger. So definitely here we see that 26 is smaller than 91. Student, you may be remembering also that we have studied in the previous class that long division method for finding the SCF. Right? I hope all of you are remembering. So, what was that long division method? So, long division method for finding SCF, let us recall that one. Then we'll try to correlate both long division method and Euclid division algorithm. Right? So, what we are doing after deciding this, which is smaller, which is bigger, we are dividing by the smaller number. Right? Smaller number to bigger number. So let us divide this 91 by 26. How many times it goes here? So definitely we can take 2. 2 6 are 12 and 2 2s are 4 and 1 5. Okay. Now this line we can draw according to our need here. Subtract here 11 minus 2. 11 minus 2 9. 8 is left here. 8 minus 5 3. Shall we take more here? So our answer is yes, because yes we can go for more. So therefore we can check here that this remainder is, what is remainder, it is more than this divisor. If it is so, we can take it. Okay. Then here we are taking 3 and now multiply and check here. 3 6 are 18. Okay. 1 carried, 3 2 are 6 and 1 7. Again we can check it. 11 minus 8. 11 minus 8 3. Carry 1 carried here. Then 8 left. 8 minus 7 1. Check here. 13 is smaller than this 26. So please go for next step here. And what is next step here? This 26. 26 we write here as the dividend. You are knowing that one. And we again multiply by the number whose value is either equal to 26 or is smaller than 26. So we see here it is 2 times. We take here 13 2s are. This is 26. And finally we get the remainder as 0. So here when we get the remainder as 0, the last divisor, what is the last divisor here? 13. And this last divisor we say that it is the SCF. Okay, that yet done in the lower class, and this we are knowing also. The last divisor which is left, that is the highest common factor of those two numbers, right? Now again I told you that how to correlate this long division. This is the long division method. Long division method for finding SCF, right? But by Euclid division algorithm, which is step by step procedure, here we take this 91, and since 26 is the divisor, we have to get that form. Again you recall A equals to BQ plus R. So applying that concept, 91 is equal to 26 into 3. 26 into 3, then what is the remainder left here? 13. Yes, very good. 13. Then what we take now? This 26 we take here. 26, and then by whatever the remainder we are dividing, that is, this will be helping you what we have done. So 13 into 2 plus 0, right? And here this 13, which is the last divisor, if I say that you compare with this A equals to BQ plus R, A equals to BQ plus R, if it is compared with that one, A equals to BQ plus R, then this last divisor is B, and that is equal to 13. Yes. So SCF, I say that this SCF of 26 and 91 is equal to 30. The last divisor. This is the last divisor here, and that we can say it is the SCF. I hope you got it, children. Okay. So very simple it is. This by Euclid division algorithm, we can say that by Euclid, that what we are studying here, Euclid's division algorithm. Okay. So by Euclid division algorithm and by long division, this we can correlate. So in case suppose you are not getting the correct or big numbers are there, this is two simple numbers here, but if you get some bigger numbers, you can go for long division, and then again you can arrange in the steps here. This will be helpful for you. If we can do directly, it is so far so good. Otherwise, we can go approach through this way. Okay, clear to you? And this is not the rough work. If we can manage with the time, because time factor is also important for the class 10 student, that whatever question is given, you have to solve within time. Because if you give the more time for a particular question, then you may be leaving some question at the end when you come to complete the paper. So that is the big loss if you are leaving some questions at the cost of some other question where you are given the more time. Okay, clear to you? This is, I hope it is clear to you, children. Now let us take that one or two more questions we can take to see that one. Okay. Now another question we'll take, that where we can go for finding the SCF. For example, say here 455 and 42. 455 and 52. Two numbers are given, and it is given you to find SCF. Okay, 455 and 52. And to find SCF, how? by Euclid's division algorithm. This will be mentioned in the question, that find the HCF by Euclid division algorithm. If not so, then we can go for prime factorization. That is well known method we have done in the lower class. Okay, so again we see that which is smaller and which is bigger. I told you that we can take the help of the long division. If soon we are not getting the divisor, so therefore means the divisor, quotient and remainder we are not able to decide, then in that way we can do. So here what we see, 52 is smaller than 455. Okay, now let us take 455 as the dividend and we are dividing by 52. Can you tell if you are in the perfect practice in that? You can tell me that what will be the quotient here? Just anyone? Yes. We can check. I told you that we can check in as we have checked before also. So let us take here for 8 times, for example. So 8 2s are 16, 1 caret, 8 5s are 40 and 1 41. We are getting 416. If you take for 9 times, so it will come here 9 2s are 18, and if you take for 9 times, then 9 2s are 18, 1 caret, 9 5s are 45 and 46. Then it will be more than that. So therefore you leave for that, and now we are taking up to 8 times. Okay, subtract now as the process of division is here. 15 minus 6, what is 9? 15 minus 6, right? Now 1 carried here, so 4 left, 4 minus 1, that is 3, and 4 minus 4, it is 0. Check that. 39, it is the remainder here now. Now you know, you can give the answer by yourself also. What will be the next dividend? Yes, 52. Okay, so if we take for 2 times, then it will be more than this, 52. So we take here 1, 39. Okay, the remaining line we can draw here because it will create confusion. So 12 minus 9, how much? 3. And here 4, 4 minus 3, 1. Check again, we are correct or not. Then again this 13 will be the new divisor and 39 will be new dividend. Just divide. 13 3s are, and we get here 39, and finally we get the remainder as 0. Okay, so again this whole that process of long division we can again reform into the this Euclid division algorithm, and we know that it is 455. Tell me now, 455, 52 into how much? 8. Yes, 8 plus remainder. What is the remainder here? 39. Very good. Now what will be the next dividend here? 52. We take 52 here. Okay, and by what will divide here? 39. How many times? 1 time. Yes, here 1. What is the remainder? 13. Good. Now 39 you take here. Now what will be the new divisor? New divisor always we are taking with the remainder here. So new divisor will be the 13. into 3 plus 0. And finally we got the remainder as 0. Right? Therefore, we can conclude here the SCF. What will be the SCF here? Is 13. Yes, very good. So we write here, hence SCF of 52 and 455 is equal to 30. Okay, and since we are doing in this board exam, so this is no need to put the arrow mark. Here this is understood that finally the last divisor is the SCF. So here we write clearly and then we complete our solution. Is it clear to you, children? Okay, very good. So now I hope with these two examples it is clear to you that how do we get the SCF? How do we find the SCF? By using the concept of Euclid division algorithm. We have discussed about that, how to find the SCF by Euclid division algorithm. Now some more questions are related. They are analytical questions because we have to analyze and we have to come to conclusion. Right? So like that one question will take here. How to apply this concept in proving some statement. Okay? So because this is also part of our syllabus. So one question will take and then we'll discuss how do we come to that one. By using the concept of Euclid division algorithm. So here is one question of this our book that I am reading that question. So that any positive odd integer, this is given to show that any positive odd integer, I am writing here positive odd integer is either of the form either of the form 6q plus 1 or 6q plus 3 or 6q plus 5 or 6q plus 5 for some integer q. Right? This we have to prove or we have to show here that any positive odd integer is either of the form 6q plus 1 or 6q plus 3 or 6q plus 5 for some integer q. We have discussed by this Euclid division algorithm we know that a equals to bq plus r, where a, b, q and r all are integers, and with the condition for r which is satisfying that r should be smaller than b or should be greater than equal to 0. Okay, so we are going to apply that concept for proving this. I told you in the beginning, this is all the analytical questions. We have to analyze and we have to come to the conclusion. Okay, one of the questions is asked also of that type, what we are going to discuss now. Okay, so in the proof we can write now by Euclid, as it is told by Euclid division lemma or Euclid division algorithm. By Euclid division algorithm, we know that A equals to BQ plus R, where R is less than B but greater than equal to 0. So if we see the form in which we have to prove that the value of B here, A equals to BQ plus R, So very clear it is. The value of b we can take as 6. Okay. So we take here that b is equal to 6. And if b is equal to 6, because 6 cube plus 1, 6 cube plus 3, 6 cube plus 5, and we are aware of this integer also, odd integer which are not divisible by 2 or which are not multiple of 2, we can say. Okay, so odd integer we have to prove. Odd integer, I am just giving the stress on this because this should be there in the mind. Odd integer we have to prove in the form 6 cube plus 1, 6 cube plus 3 or 6 cube plus 5. Clear to you? This is the part of the question there. Okay, then we proceed here. This also we are knowing. Now, seeing this, what we are going to prove, we have taken b equal to 6. So, possible values of r, we can write here possible because r should be smaller than b. So, possible values of r will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, less than b, and b is equal to 6. So possible values we can take, possible values of r is, what is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so one by one we have to check by taking the value of r as 0, then 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. Okay, let us check here. If r is equal to 0, see here, if r is equal to 0, then a equals to, you can give the answer yourself, b is 6 by Euclid division lemma, so 6 cube plus 0. Okay, or we can write here 6 cube plus 0, that is 6 cube. Okay, good. Now, if r is equal to 1, then what we get? If r is equal to 1, then a equals to, yes, 6 cube plus 1. Okay, we cannot simplify it more, so therefore we stop here. If r is equal to 2, then what we get here? A equals to 6 cube plus 2. Yes, many have got the answer. Okay, if r equals to 3, then a equals to 6 cube plus 3. Yes, very good. If r is equal to 4, a equals to 6 cube plus 4. Yes, go on. For next, r equals to 5. Then a equals to 6 cube plus 5. Okay. We know that this a is also integer, 6 is also integer, q is also integer, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever we have taken, they all are integer. Okay, very good. Now we have to check what type of integer are they. If the remainders are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then what type of numbers we are getting? Okay, so let us check that one. 6 cube. Just pay attention here. 6 cube. 6. What type of number is 6? Odd or even? Yes, our answer is for even. 6 is even number because divisible by 2 or it is multiple of 2. Okay. Q is one integer. We had told before that A, B, Q, they all are integer there. So when we multiply, just pay attention to this. When we multiply an even integer, which is 6 here, by any integer, the result becomes even. Okay? You can check also. Take for future. Suppose 6 is one integer we have. Q is another integer. Suppose for example 3 it is. So 6 into 3, 18. Q is taken as 11. 6 into 11, 66. That is also even. So the product of 6 and Q, what will be always? It will be an even integer. Even integer. Okay, very good. Now, just we have told that 6q is even integer. And if you add 1 to any even integer, what it becomes? Even integer plus any even integer plus 1? Yes, it becomes an odd integer. Very good. We have so many examples. Even integer, suppose even integer is for example 8. You add 1, 9. 9 is an odd number there. Odd integer we can say. Okay. Now here for remaining one you can get the answer very fast there. Even plus even. Even integer, 6q is even integer, 2 is also even integer. So what will be sum of these two? An even integer. Yes. Then even integer plus 3. 3 is an odd, we know that. So result will be an odd integer. Very good. Then again an even integer. And last one we get here an odd integer. Okay. So we concluded now here that what type of integer we are getting. Now we just see. Again we come to the question here. Any positive odd integer is either of the form 6q plus 1, 6q plus 3 or 6q plus 5. Yes? Are we getting so here? Odd integer. Let me take here 6q plus 1, odd integer. 6q plus 3, an odd integer. 6q plus 5. Yes, we get so. So therefore, we have proved here that any integer, odd integer, will be in the form either 6q plus 1 or 6q plus 3 or 6q plus 5. Very good. Okay. Now we write here hence. Our conclusion should be there, because this is way of solving the question that in the board exam, because it is also important. Okay, that if you know to cook the food, how you serve in a proper way, this is also very, very important. Okay, so now this all we are done, cooking we are done. Now let us write our conclusion here. Hence, any positive integer, write that statement. Any positive odd integer is either of the form 6q plus 1 or 6q plus 3, 6q plus 3 or 6q plus 5 for some integer q. For some integer q. Okay, and after writing this all, we can write at last here hence proved. Very important, because this hence proved also gives the meaning there that yes, you have completed, you have come to the end. Okay, as we told that cooking the food and then drinking water, that okay, hence proved is like that only. Okay, so okay, very good students. Many questions you can solve by this method. We'll again continue, okay, in the next part of this chapter. Okay, till then, okay, see you, bye.